Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to Unquiet Live. We are coming at you from the Haven in Pomona. Shout out to the Haven for having us. And today we have a very, very, very special guest. Very excited about this artist. He is a genre-bending artist, originally from London, but spent a lot of his time in Sacramento and is now based here in Los Angeles. You could listen to his brand new songs, First Time and Lil While, and that is JMSEY. What's up, JMSEY?
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing very well, doing very well.
Good,
You want to get into the first one, and then we'll chat it up a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
Are we ready? Ooh, there's something crazy about your style when I first saw it. Yeah, you knew no way I could ignore it. I was sitting there feeling dry, but you walking by me for five. Yeah. Lust is real, yeah, I fucking hate it. Is it destiny to be repeated? It's the fear in most of us, you see. Ooh, there's something crazy about your style. Keep me guessing, baby. Cause you know how I've been feeling lately. No, I won't put anything else above you, except for me and all the shit I'm trying to do for me. Please, a little favor. Don't let me stand in your way ever between the things that you want in life. Cause baby, ooh, there's something crazy about your style. Ooh, there's something crazy about your style. Ooh, there's something crazy about your style. Ooh, there's something crazy about you. Yeah, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I tell you I loved you lately? What am I thinking? Standing there and I'll be blinking. My heart is sinking, turning up the radio, dancing in the living room. Hard for me to really know which my mind would let you go. Cause I've been thinking back all those rainy days too. Hustled up for a movie or you. What's the name of that ice cream we ate? Double mint chocolate chip, fuck it, give me the dairy nut. All that shit he's gonna do is make me feel gross. Look at us laying there in the comatose. I wouldn't change it for a thing. And it all started with your style. It all started with your style. Ooh, you gone and caught me with your style. Ooh, you gone and caught me with your style. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So good. So sick.
Thanks, man.
So good.
It would have been nice with some drums, but Caleb and I hold it down. I think. Considering.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Seriously, that was awesome. Not bad. And you didn't spill the Topo Chico. We're all good.
The Strymans are good. Oh, man, the church gig is safe.
All right. Oh man, that was awesome. It's so good to have you guys. Thanks so much you guys to come in. This is awesome. I've been really looking forward to talking to you about First Time because that song is so fucking good.
Man.
And yeah,
that's crazy to hear, to be honest.
It's so fucking good. I love it so much. It's and I know lyrically there's a lot that I want to talk about, but just like sonically, I don't want it to get overlooked because it's such a great like. I think it's so hard to write a song that invokes a bunch of emotion, like just instrumentally, but also has these kind of pop sensibilities and like accessibleness, whatever that word is. And you just do it so well. Like it's such like a heavy, deep song, but it's such also just like an enjoyable listen. That's
Thanks,
like, man. Yeah, I don't know. You just nailed that like crossover, you know?
That truly means a lot because it was all written and recorded in such a quick time span because my publicist was telling me like, hey, okay, this is funny. I don't know how deep we want to get into shit here, but my publicist was basically like, hey, James, I know you don't really like thinking about this stuff, but next month is AAPI month. And it might be nice to put something out. And I'm like very just, it's not like I'm against it. I'm just kind of like, if it makes sense, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So she was just like, I'm just saying, if you have anything that you're working on that you might be able to turn around quick, might be a good idea. And so I did have the song I was working on. The hook has been in my vault for like ages.
Yeah.
And I always enjoyed the song. And I just never did anything. I was never compelled to write to the verses. And then that was literally, so that has existed now for like a year or so.
Oh, damn.
And then when she started telling me about trying to shoot for this, it was like, I think it was, like the last week or so of April. He was super busy. So I always do everything with Caleb, more or less. I'll try and I'll come to his spot, and then we'll work on the ideas, and he basically tracks everything that's way better and then makes it sound way better.
Yeah.
But I come with the initial idea. But he was really busy, and so I needed this to be turned around, and I also wanted to challenge myself because I don't know, I'm also one of those writers where I can't just like, I envy people who can sit down each day and write 3 ideas or whatever. I'm just not one of those people.
Yeah.
I suppose I'm more one of those, like everything has to be perfect. I have to be compelled and inspired and all that.
Yeah.
Which I understand that too, but sometimes you just need to get shit done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I really tried on that one, and I tracked and recorded all of it myself in my home, and then sent it in to Caleb and our friend Kyle for kind of just overseeing, like almost like the teacher, like checking my rough drafts, making sure. And they definitely took it from like, I don't know, Caleb's great at taking it, doing that final 10%, which is usually the most important part anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So all of this is a long-winded way of me saying I was extremely challenged that week to basically apply all the things I learned from watching him in all of our sessions. All that to say, it means a lot to hear you say that.
Oh, dude, of course.
And I hope it means a lot to you because normally I'm just looking over his shoulder and like taking notes, but then
half the time I feel like you don't like the shit that I'm doing because you're so quiet. But you're like, I'm like, oh, okay.
He is. He's one of those who's like, what do you think? Are we going now? Should we keep going down this road?
I'm like working on something for like 20 minutes on your shit. And I'm like,
yes.
I just trust him. He hates this. I know he hates this.
I just trust him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just let him do his thing.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, that
awesome.
means a lot because I don't know. I think I'm very fortunate to have someone like Caleb to work with who can get the best out of me and also has the equipment and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I feel very lucky to have that. But when people have those things, I also think it's important for them to like make sure they can do it themselves too.
Right.
So he almost forcibly made me fly from the nest, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I came back to the nest. He was like, see, it wasn't too bad, was it? You did a good job. And I was like, you did a good job.
Come in for a hug.
Yeah. Like, is this going to go on the fridge? Oh.
My report card, yeah.
Yeah. It's got my SoundCloud image on his fridge. James. First time.
Oh, that's so good. So do you produce okay.
Yeah.
Outside of the project as well? Like
I produce and write and do a lot of pitch work and stuff like
Nice.
that. And but yeah, I don't know. Like I do a lot of stuff that I do for work for sure, but this stuff has always just been, I don't know, like not work. It's fun. It's good stuff. So
that's awesome. Yeah, it sounds so good. I mean, that song is so heavy. And then, I mean, lyrically too, like I feel like you're diving into a lot of different things and kind of talking about the negative self-talk and just being very vulnerable on the track. When you write songs like that, is it difficult to get them from the paper, from like writing the lyrics to actually recording and releasing them? Is that like a tough thing since that is so personal? Or
I feel like first time in terms of lyrical content, it is probably my most vulnerable of the tracks that I've put out in the past year. And so again, I think that's in a weird way why it was almost more suited that I was doing the bulk of it myself in my home. But I do struggle with it only because, and in particular with that song, because I'm like covering topics that are, and this is my personal opinion, I just think some of these topics have been kind of hijacked and they're a little trendy
And to the point where like sometimes, and I hate to say this, maybe it's just a byproduct of the past 2 years of being bombarded with so much information, but I genuinely can't tell sometimes if someone's being honest or not, or if someone's being real.
Yeah.
And so when you hear people talk about mental health and killing themselves, unfortunately for me, I've started to like really look at when someone says that with a kind of more, not skeptical, but I kind of like I don't just settle on my initial emotional response, because there are emotional words that invoke a very emotional response.
Right.
And even like me touching on the topics of being Asian and being an Asian male growing up in a Western society and how it kind of sucked and my experience sucked. And I just think it's very important. It was very important to me with that song to really remind people that it's not a complaint more than it's an observation. Because I think sometimes in life you're just dealt a shitty card, and even that card, you know, it being deemed shit or not is purely your perception and your own personal experience, right? To me, it was a shitty card. There are some people that didn't experience that at all, and good for them, you know. But like for me, I know that's what I went through, and I know that a lot of other people went through that shit too, because I've had these conversations. And but in bringing these topics up, I always feel like it's important to not lean or dwell too heavily on complaining about it, more than saying this is what happened, this is how I felt, this is how I moved forward from it, and this is, I guess, what could happen to help that. But then even that, you know, that topic in terms of what can we do as like a culture and in mainstream to help that along, I think that's kind of slippery slope too. Right. My personal opinion, which honestly I think these days I could be like, I don't know, being over dramatic, but it just seems like a little bit more difficult of a conversation to have these days, because everyone's wanting to respect and make everyone feel so comfortable that it's like, I don't know, I digress. So my point is like,
I know what you mean though. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, sometimes you get dealt a shitty card, and you can either sit and dwell on it and wait for things to change, or you can just, you know, run with it and be the change yourself, you know what I mean? Instead of waiting around for things to happen, because, you know, whether it's going to happen or not, it's going to take a while.
Yeah. This is also why it takes us forever to get shit done in the studio too, because we do this for hours at a time.
Yeah, we did an audio tree session once. And
oh my God, dude.
And she was just asking me, she was asking me questions where I was like, I can't just let that
No.
Yeah.
You know, I have to dive into this one. And the whole time I can feel Caleb's energy. And he's standing there with his fucking guitar.
Well, because I'm just as long-winded, fool. Like, it's like the exact same thing.
And most of the stuff that I'm saying he does agree with, but I can tell. And in my head, I'm just like, oh yeah, he's
I'm like, bro, we got like 10 minutes. We got to go.
Guitar. Jeez.
That's so good. Yeah. No.
Where's my little dart?
We gotta call the next song
all the time.
Bro, we gotta call the next song like I Digress.
Yeah.
That's like your fucking catchphrase.
That should be our tag. Like, you know how rappers have
tags.
tags. Yeah.
The producer tag.
I digress. I digress. Oh, that's a JMSEY Caleb track.
Yeah.
I digress.
That's amazing. I mean, yeah, just on that last thought, then we'll get into this. But yeah, I mean, I think that's amazing, though, just to share that perspective and have that perspective out there, because, yeah, I mean, it's like, that's just what makes people connect with the song and connect with the experience. And ultimately, that's the point of music, in my opinion. So,
and making it relatable.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's why that song for me, kind of was structured the way it was, because I talk about something personal that a specific demographic of people will relate to, but then it ties into something that I think everybody can relate to, which is wanting to kill yourself, which, like, I'm not trying to make that sound like a very cavalier thing, but it is something that I think a lot of people do feel, and they kind of just shrug it off as realistic as it may feel in that moment or not. I just think that it's important for people to kind of understand that, yeah, you're going to feel like that sometimes, and it's okay, you know. What systems do you have in place now to talk about it to someone, whether it's your friend or whoever, to bring you back to like stable? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, love that. Not even happiness or sadness. Like, I've stopped thinking about like happiness being the end goal, because it's not permanent. Happiness is just a moment, right? So I've found that it's been a lot mentally healthier for me to pursue the idea of contentment. which is again something that I think that in American society isn't something that's fashionable. No one's like, yeah, go 150% of content, you know, like it's all, you gotta go 200% fucking go to, you know, never sleep and shit like that. And, you know.
100%.
Or maybe this is just 2020 coming out of me right now. I just want to be back to like sitting at home.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
That's amazing. I feel like I'm at my therapist's office right now. That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you. No, that was great. Thank you so much. Well, yeah, let's get into the next two, and then we'll chat some more.
Cool. Little While. Speaking of 2020. It's Jesus. It's Jesus coming in. Jesus felt like he needed some verb. Woo! No time for these stupid fucking messages. Small talk, yeah, I know I made a mess of it. But if there's something that you wanna tell me, please just let me know. And keep it real, cause I know things have gone awry. It's not my intention to float by the comfort that we seem to be basking in. Could maybe use the help of crowbars, just a little space, just a little time, just to get a little wiser. Puppy love's got me sprung, ain't gonna lie to you. I'll take my chances on this roundabout. Maybe I should take my time, could take a little while. Could take a little while. Could take a little while. Yeah. Cause I've been thinking that you wanna leave with me, but you're saying you don't wanna go. This back and forth's got my mind real tired, babe. And red wine's got me acting slow. Just a little space, just a little time to get a little wiser. Puppy love's got me sprung, ain't gonna lie to you. I'll take my chances on this roundabout. Or maybe I should take my time. Could take a little while. Could take a little while. Could take a little while. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. All my life, I never thought I'd open up again. 'Cause time is short, no telling when it'll end. 'Cause if there is to be an us, then I must try to learn to trust that just a little bit of time to get us wiser. Puppy love got me sprung, ain't gonna lie to you. I'll take my chances on this roundabout. Or maybe I should take my time. Could take a little while. Could take a little while. Yeah. I guess I'll take a little while.
So good. So good. God, your shows must be so fun.
Oh man, I hope you guys come to us.
I want to so bad. Yeah,
man.
That's like, yeah. We could talk about it after the next song.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that that's like my goal of 2022 is to catch you live, because I've been seeing like and doing research just how crazy your live shows are. And it's like, come to a live show, like trust me, and it's like I get it. You know?
That's good to know, man. No, that's. I mean, you know, I've been really trying to, especially coming out of lockdown. I've just been really trying to hyper focus on that, because I think obviously getting that taken away from you, you're instantly like,
Yeah.
What's funny, man, before all this music that we put out, I was very much like an R&B soul crooner. Yeah, and then after 2020, I was just like, fuck this, man. I just wanna fucking come out. I want to play shows. I want to be imperfectly perfect, you know. And I think that has been an interesting thing for us to kind of find a median in, because if it was up to me, it would be like way more sloppier. Not because I necessarily want it to, but that's another reason why Caleb plays an important role, because he balances it out. So even though, you know, he's playing it all and he's like a very efficient player, I've also tried to make sure to convey to him like imperfectly perfect.
Hell yeah.
And like that last song. Like,
Yeah.
There's some imperfect parts on that last one.
Just chalk it up to feeling it.
I was like,
Just chalk it up
oh.
to feeling it. All right?
Uh-oh.
You know, some of the best crying is ugly crying, all right?
I'm about to
Do
cry
you
a
know
little
what I'm
bit.
saying? Nobody cries beautifully. You know? That's
No,
what
it's-
we're trying to do here.
It's really cool too, because I primarily like make like pop music, and so like doing this kind of stuff is like, I don't know, man. It takes me back to my roots. The very first record I ever learned like every instrument on was Nevermind. So like,
sick.
it's just messy, and I love that shit, and I like making just like messy music, but I also can't not. I don't know. Like,
Can't not make it a hit.
He
I,
has
I
those-
try.
He has those lines that he's like, nah, James.
We can't cross that, bro.
Can't. Now you're fucking with me. So I respect it, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, for example, this is actually a pretty funny story. So last live show we had this fill-in drummer, and I, like, without having to bore you, we've been having some crazy band dynamics. Hence, like, there's just two of us here today. Just life has been that way. But we were playing with a different drummer that night, and I found him, and
He's a great drummer. He's a
great
really
drummer.
good drummer. Yeah,
Great drummer.
It was
And
just a very last minute show, and it
Yes.
was like one of those where like we didn't have any time to rehearse. Like he had to chart it out, and like I didn't have time to really talk to him like before the set and everything,
And ultimately, he's playing with them, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like just up here running around. So after that show, he was like, James, thanks, A, for effort, but like from here on out, I'll find the players, you know. Like, don't worry about it. And I was like, all right, you know, fair.
I was really trying not to be mean about it. I was like,
There's no way to say it. You
just
know?
gonna slowly revoke the privilege card.
Yeah. He was like, so I'm gonna take this from
I'm
you.
gonna take this back.
We're gonna put this over here. I'm not taking it forever. It's just gonna be here on the shelf.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like being a producer, like in a studio head kind of thing, and then playing live, like you probably have such high expectations, or like such like,
yeah, to a certain extent. I think like, I mean, because like I started, I mean, I played live like growing up. That was like what I did, and I really started producing more when I was, I think my like late teens, like early 20s. That's when I started. But I really just grew up playing in bands and stuff like that. But even then, I was like, I just want everybody to be good. You know? Like that's.
Hell yeah.
But like, I don't know. That's what's cool about this project, though. I think is because like I care. I was like, not even that. It's just like I care significantly less about that and more about like, do you have the same energy as everyone on stage?
Nice.
Like, are you playing with the same intensity, like the same excitement? Because I think that's one of the things I was talking to a friend of mine about your shit. Actually, one of my favorite things is it perfectly. His music perfectly encapsulates him as a person, and I want to make sure that like as a band and people that we're supporting him, as an artist, and specifically like he's one of the most authentically awesome, beautiful people I've ever met, and he's very fun, but he's also very, I don't know, not meaningful, but he's just a like his music perfectly it perfectly encapsulates who he is as a person. So like I want to make sure that when we're on stage that's doing that. So I might have yelled at that guy on stage a little bit while we were there, but I was like but it's important to me. I'm very passionate about my friend.
That's great. I love that.
He needs to be.
Yeah.
He needs to be
That's
because yeah, man. I think I've been, you know, coming out of 2020, I kind of just, for better for worse, mainly for better, decided to care less. You know what I mean? And care more about other parts of the music that I didn't care enough about because I was too fixated on, I have to be hitting this perfect note. This has to be perfect here and there. And now when we play, I just want it to be very, I mean, dude, everyone's had enough time to listen to music in their amazing headphones at home. if you're coming to a show, man, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and give you something you can't hear. And
So
for better,
sick.
for worse. Even if
Yes.
that means I kick the guitar out of his hand. Do you know what I mean?
You
But-
have done.
But yeah, but even in the music, even in the recording process, I think something that has been really fun for me, and I think for Caleb too, because it is quite different than his typical style, but we do long vocal takes. We don't do punch-ins, you know, we do 3 to 4 long takes. He'll have me do the doubles and we'll just run it and run it and run it. And even if I fuck up, you know, because I think there's this natural thing that happens in a live performance where this is it. So if you fuck up here, you got to make it up somewhere in the tail end of the song.
Yeah.
And so what happens is when you have 3 of those, you have the best cool moments of everything, and you kind of just mix those up, and that has been really cool. I think
That's
we've
awesome.
been surprised with how little actual takes we've been able to do things in.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with just really honing in on the fact that, and reminding yourself that in the studio, it's a performance.
Yeah.
You're capturing a performance.
Hell yeah.
Every different genre is different, but you know.
Dude, I think I released the version of Sunny Days where the SM7 like hook was like
Jangling, yeah.
the whole song. I was like, God, this is such a good performance. I'm like, fuck it, I don't care.
Oh, you kept it?
Oh yeah, of course. I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Our actual calling card in most of our songs is having like a random thing that he says or me in the song. We've kept some weird things in there, just for the fuck of it, just to kind of remind us to like not take things too serious.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I think there's something to not being incredibly precious over everything that you do.
I agree. To me, that's my favorite type of music. Like, nothing to me is more boring than like a perfect sounding song. It's like you need some character, you need some like imperfection, because that's what really like invokes that emotion. You know, So that's what I was saying earlier. It's like it's crazy because you guys have this thing going where like you do that, but it also does sound like it could be like a hit on K-Rock or like something, you know what I mean? So
That's
it's like
sick.
I feel like you and like Girl in Red are like the only people I've heard that could like
That's compliments.
properly do that. Yeah.
That's great.
No, yeah, that means a lot. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what we're trying to naturally just tap into.
Yeah.
Without too much thought. Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, honestly, moving to LA has obviously been amazing. But it is, man. You go to all the showcases and you're just like, okay.
Right.
Like, so when we play, it's almost like, it's just funny watching people's reactions. We purposely start with the most ruckus of a song, just to wake everyone up.
Yeah, you need
perfection.
to.
Do you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Yeah, you're used to hearing these beautiful synth, like sub,
Yes.
all that shit, and then we
Right.
come on and we're just like,
I was joking around the other day. I was like, dude, he doesn't even like introduce himself like on the first song. He just comes out and yells like, like super fucking.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
like,
it's my sound check.
That's
great.
Well, yeah, you guys go ahead and get into the next one when you're ready. But God, you're selling this live show. I can't wait to see it.
I mean, Brad signed us.
Yeah, I mean, he's a punk guy, so that makes sense.
He was like, I don't care that you don't have that many followers and streams.
Shout out to Brad.
Shout out to Brad. Sequel music. Hopefully I remember the lyrics on this one.
dude, I might forget the chords.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's that tension.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That's life. Sometimes you can't rehearse the fuck out of life.
No.
Yeah. Do you remember what you told me the first time we met? You didn't even want to know me, at least not like that, yeah? Sure, I could have gone looked the other way, but your eyes seem to say that I should stay. If we could only both be happy. I was on the south end, you were on the north end. Lunch tables between, lacking my exit just to catch a breath with. What is that I seen? What a stunning beauty, never was about that late night view from my bed. Yeah, I was a freshman, only trying to flex, man, but it's all in my head. Oh shit. Do you remember what you told me the first time we met? You didn't even want to know me, at least not like that, yeah. Sure, I could have gone looked the other way, but your eyes seem to say that I should stay. We could only both be happy. Never wished that I was dead, but wouldn't mind if I never woke up. Whirling thoughts inside my head could use a little bit of a glow up. Is it in my mind? Don't know if it's not. Is it cause my eyes, man, you're thinking too much? Thinking of the times you're saying too much, you're being too much, stop feeling so much. I hate myself. Tell me something new, something people never talk about. Berate myself. Yeah, it can be cool, but it's how I live life on the shelf. Fuck! Do you remember what you told me the first time we met? You didn't even wanna know me, at least not like that, yeah? Sure, I could have gone lit the other way, but your eyes seem to say that I should stay. If we could only both be happy. Sharing thoughts inside my head, I'll do my best. Telling myself I'll be okay, I'll do my best. Living life without no lies, give it a try. Never thought I'd feel like this, that I'd be like this. Ugh. Do you remember what you told me the first time we met? You didn't even wanna know me, at least not like that, yeah? Sure, I could have gone lit the other way, but your eyes seem to say that I should stay. If we could only both be happy. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Nice.
So good. God, I love that
Nice.
song. Love that song so much. It's been on repeat.
Oh man, thanks.
So
man.
good. Yeah.
That means a lot. That means a lot.
Of course. Yeah, I wanted to talk about Sacramento. So when did you move from London?
So my family moved from London to Roseville, which is just north of Sacramento.
Okay.
When I was about 13.
Okay.
And it'd been a long decision that finally materialized, because when you apply to move over here, it can sometimes take a while if you're not sponsored by the right person. So for us, it took 12 something years. And so
Oh, wow.
by that time I was 13, 14, we moved over here. And it was like a massive culture shock,
Yeah,
you know, going from
imagine.
London to Roseville, which is like such a suburb.
Yeah.
And like, I'm talking about like 90% white people, you know, like the most stereotypical like
Right.
suburb town you could think of. But you know, I mean, you know, I think anywhere you grow up and live, there's always like things that stay with you. And for me, you know, growing up there was just very, very fun. But I soon found out like later on in life that it was a weird kind of move for me, because I kind of lost my identity. I moved over to America. I became the English guy. Whereas in England, I was just James, you know. And
Yeah.
like, there was nothing special about me.
Right.
So that was an interesting thing. Not complaining, because I was like made friends very easily, but I guess it was like hard to tell how real those friendships were, you know. And when you're in high school, you just want to feel happy and be popular.
Yeah.
Some people. But yeah, when I decided to do music, I was like, I need to go down to like Sacramento and inject myself into that scene, which I did. And then I met Caleb. He moved up from Modesto for a while to play in some bands up there, in
Nice.
one of his bands. And so we always knew of each other. And then he moved to LA maybe like 2 years before I did.
Yeah.
2-3 years before I
2018.
did. And then, yeah, man, it was interesting. My last 2 years in Sacramento were very strange, because I was in Hobo Johnson's band, and we were doing amazing stuff, touring a lot. But every time I got home to Sac, I would always feel very stagnant, you know, because Sacramento is a very comfy town. And I think whether it's because it's Sacramento or whether it's because when it's your hometown, you start to feel this certain level of comfort. It was very comfortable, and so I found myself feeling stagnant. And then so for the course of 2 years, it slowly built up to this moment where I was like, I need to fucking move. And I did. I just made this very abrupt kind of move, found a place. I didn't care where I was going to move, so I ended up in Northridge.
Shout out to Northridge.
Ended up in Northridge. And it was interesting, because I moved February of 2020, and then I came down here. I got to run around, do some amazing things. And then all of a sudden lockdown happened, and I was just back into this mindset of like, was this the worst decision, you know?
Yeah.
When in hindsight, I feel comfortable enough saying now that it was honestly like the best decision I could have made, because I don't know, I think LA has an interesting way of really tapping into people's insecurities more so than other cities, because everyone's doing things at such a high level. You're constantly comparing yourself to what you're seeing. And I think if you don't have a strong sense of self when you move to a city like this, you could very easily get lost. And so that like pause, for instance, during 2020 actually did a lot for me, and like allowed me to kind of recenter myself.
Yeah.
Kind of remember what music actually like got me going, which was like, I grew up on, you know, of course, like Radiohead, Blur, you know, all that shit. But then particularly like early 2000s stuff was like stuff that I think Caleb and I really resonated on, because I'm a big Strokes fan.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of elements that we, of course, pull from, you know, from that style of music. But for me, I've just been, as corny as it sounds, trying to find my, you know, my delivery, so to speak, or my voice, as some people would call it.
Yeah.
But 100% being around Oliver Tree as much as I am, and being around Frank, they have both been artists that have kind of shown me how important it is to find your lane, or find something that is very unique to you. And like technical ability kind of doesn't go out the window, but it's like, it's all part of a big equation. Do you know what I mean? And
that's
like,
cool.
You know, I think it's important to like have a little bit of everything. And if you are trying to like make a big splash and like cut through, I think the stuff, at least to me, that cuts through the most is like the very intriguing stuff, which sometimes doesn't mean you might like it. But if you leave that show being like, I don't know if I like that. I mean, that's how I felt about Frank. That's how I met Frank. He like came to my open mic, sat down, put a fucking keyboard over his lap, didn't have a stand. I was just like, what the fuck is this guy, you know? And he started going off into his songs, and I was like, this is interesting, you know? Like, I don't even know if I like it, but I like that feeling more than like, this is very good music.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, this is very good music. It's almost like, you know, when you go that route of trying to really be authentic and try and find that lane, in a way you're kind of making your pool of competition smaller. If I'm trying to be the best R&B singer in the world, I've got a lot of people to compete against. You know? But if I'm trying to just be me, you know, and like me in a very unapologetic, over-dramatic, you know, kind of way, then that will cut through, I think, and ultimately make it more difficult to be compared to things, even though it's inevitable. But I think I've said to Caleb, like, if people leave my show feeling strange, if they feel weird, or if they have a hard time describing what we are, that's cool. I'm, you know.
I think I said that like the very first time you showed me these songs. I was like, dude, these are awesome. There's gonna be a lot of people that don't like this, and I think that's really fucking cool. Like, I'm like, this is sick. Like, I like it. I was like, and I know. So I was like, if I like it, I know someone else is gonna like it. So like, let's just run with it. And like, I think that's it. I think that's cool, because I think stuff that's like everyone likes, it's so boring, man. It's so boring. And I've made a lot of songs like that. Not gonna lie, but it's I don't feel like I've ever made one like that with you, so that good.
Means a lot.
That's a good thing. That's
He's been a very confirming person in my life, and it helped me, I don't know, kind of encouraged me to actually do instead of just talk and think and all that stuff, which is what I like to do a lot. But yeah, man,
that's cool that the town.
I mean, you still talk a lot.
I do.
It's cool that Sacramento had such an impact in like the artist community you got in with. I didn't know Oliver Tree was from Sacramento.
He's not. He's from Santa Cruz. But
Gotcha.
The whole Hobo crew's from Sac, and like I said, it's a very supporting, loving place. But the thing is like, you can if you have like an ounce of work ethic and talent, within 6 months to a year, you can cap out there, in my opinion. So now you're forced to either like start playing lots of shows in the Bay, which you could do a lot because there's such a market down there. Or you can be content being like feeling like king shit in a small town, which is fine too if that's what you want, you know. But it's almost the community there is almost so embracing of an artist, you can't tell if like you're good or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean.
Like when you look out into a sea and it's like your friends and your family, and you're almost, I don't know, for me, I'm always like, well, of course you're going to say I'm good, I want to hear it from, I don't even want to hear it, I just want to see it from like someone who I don't know. Right. So I think that's why down here it's been really cool, because in a short period of time, I'm actually impressed with how much of a kind of following we have. We're not doing like crazy numbers at shows by any means, but I do notice that anytime we play, it's like a reoccurring face with a different face that they brought along. Which to me feels good, because those are the best shows. Those are the shows that I love going to, where I'm like, dude, you just have to come and see this band with me, because you just, I don't know if you like it, but just come.
That's dope.
And I think that's a lot less, I don't know, boring than like, go listen to this.
Yes.
What do they sound like? This.
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh man, that's awesome. I love that. I wanted to ask one more question about your parents, because I thought it was a really cool story. So they were refugees and came to London, right?
Right. So my parents were both Vietnamese refugees. So they fled from the war, and they left. They were what people would call boat people. They fucking left on fishing boats.
Damn.
It's kind of crazy. My parents basically left on a boat, which they paid in gold, in jewelry. It feels like you're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Dude.
But they saved up, they collected all this gold and jewelry to pay this person to then allow them on this boat.
Wow.
Which the destination was anywhere but here.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? That's fucking nuts.
That's
like,
nuts. Not
even like take me to this country. It's like, just take me away, Yeah. So they got on this boat with thousands of other people, and then a British ship picked them up, took them to the closest refugee camp, which was in Singapore. One of my sisters was born there. So my oldest sister was born in Vietnam. So when they made this escape, my mum was 6 months pregnant, and then she had a 3-year-old.
Jeez.
And then my dad. And so,
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty mad. So they get to the refugee camp, my other sister's born. Then they decide to move to England. They kind of had to, because they're a family. If it was like my dad on his own, they would have been like, you can go wherever you want. But because it's a family and now you're dealing with welfare programs and shit, they didn't want to overload a single country with families.
Gotcha.
But at the end of the day, everybody wanted to go to America. So then we just landed in England, and I was born, and then they applied to move. And then I'm 13 years old, and they're like, do you want to move? I'm like, no. Oh, we're going. I'm like, okay. And so now I've lived here for over 20 years. Just this past Monday, I finally became a citizen.
Nice.
I fucking caved in. My mum was really worried. September of 2020, she's like, I don't know what's going to happen with this election.
Right.
Just get it. So I did it.
Nice.
So now I'm a citizen,
That's
which
awesome.
feels cool. It feels good. Also, I'm not looking forward to like having to possibly do jury duty and all that shit. It was so nice to get it in the mail and be like, can't do it.
Right.
English as fuck.
Right.
Don't agree with anything you're saying. But I don't know.
You show up to jury duty in like a wig, like one of the like Parliament.
Just really religious. I show up with my 3 Strymons. I don't have any opinions. My Strymons.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But it's but I'm definitely Americanized. I've lived here now for longer than I have in England. So it's been, I definitely, especially over the past 2 years, have had to like really kind of learn more about American history and culture and politics, and it's definitely shaped me in a very interesting way.
Yeah.
So
I could imagine. Yeah, no, that's really cool. I mean, are your parents still here?
Yeah, my mum lives in Kentucky.
Nice.
Lexington, Kentucky. All of her sisters live there, so she moved there.
Nice.
My dad lives in San Jose.
Nice.
One of my sisters lives in Los Angeles, and my other sister still lives in England.
Oh, dang.
So we're all spread apart.
I mean, that's just got to be so cool. Like, it's so crazy to have that experience as your parents, and then watching your son grow up to, like, I don't know, play with Hobo
all the
Johnson
things that
around
they
the world.
don't want you to do. You should have seen my mum's face when I was like, I want to do music. She was like, no, I just fucking got on this boat for you to come over here. And you want to fucking diddle around on the guitar, you idiot.
Idiot.
But it led to so much success. Like, I don't know. Like, you guys, I mean, you went around the world with Hobo Johnson, right? Or like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. Like,
Yeah,
all the tours and like what you're doing with your own music. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And I'm stoked in this situation now because I tech for Oliver Tree. So
Oh, sick.
So now I get to travel around with those clowns, and it's just very entertaining. And you know, he's a brilliant artist in mind, and so it's like I take all of that. Like, this is college to me, you know. Like, this is school.
Yeah.
And my mum won't see it that way, but I try and tell her, I'm like, I have a very unique perspective on things because of these specific things I was able to do.
Right.
But anyway, we're okay.
Yeah,
Mum and
that's
I.
awesome.
She's kind of, she'll throw it out there every now and then. She'll be like, yeah, you sure you don't want to go back to school? I'm like, Mum.
As moms do.
As they do, yeah. But yeah, that's a very real thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's crazy.
So talk to me for like a bit. When I told her, when I dropped out of school, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I was like, Mum, it doesn't make sense. Why don't I focus on this thing that I'm already good at instead of focusing on something I'm not really good at? By the time I get good at that, I could have been a genius at this.
Right,
you know?
right.
She's like, you don't understand.
Yeah, I've heard that story before for sure.
But I get it.
Nah,
especially
that's awesome.
in 2020. My mum was looking at me like, you see,
Right.
bet you wish you were a doctor right now. I was like, I guess so.
You win this round. You win this round.
Oh yeah, pick a pandemic to start talking shit, Mum. Yeah, I could really do something about this right now. I chose this pandemic.
Oh, that's too good. Well, that's awesome. Do you want to get into the cover and then we'll wrap things up?
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. Bye.
There you I made it through the wilderness. Somehow I made it through. I didn't know how lost I was until I found you. I was bleak, incomplete. Sad, I was sad and blue, but you made me feel. Yeah, you made me feel so shiny and new. Yeah, like a virgin, touch for the very first time. Whoa, like a virgin, when my heart beats next to mine, gonna give you all my love. This fear is fading fast. Oh, I've been saving it all up for you, 'cause only love can last. You're so fine, and you're mine, strong. Yeah, you make me bold, but your love thought out. Yeah, your love thought out. I was scared and cold. Yeah, like a virgin, just for the very first time. Oh, like a virgin, when your heart beats next to mine, like a virgin, touch for the very first time, like a virgin, 'cause when your heart beats next to mine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's so fine, and you're mine, strong. Yeah, you make me bold, but your love thought out. Yeah, your love thought out. I was scared and cold. Hey, it's like a virgin, to touch for the very first time. Oh, it's like a virgin, just like a
That was terrific. Thank you both so much. Thank you.
Yeah, man,
for
thanks
coming
for having
on.
us.
That was amazing.
This is fun.
Yeah, did you guys want to chat about anything else that we might have missed, or talk about any upcoming plans or anything?
We just have like those 2 shows. We got Kiss Kiss Bang Bang on June 22nd, and then we have Mod Sun July 29th in Sacramento.
Okay.
Which should be cool. But those are like the 2 shows we have coming up, and
Sick.
I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, I like playing, but I also, I don't know. This is something I was going to talk to Caleb about, but I definitely want to involve you more in, we're having the band meeting right now. I want to involve you more in the shows in terms of picking the shows that we do.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Not that I don't think I do, but I think I could involve you more. Sometimes I think you just, this is real right now. Sometimes I think you just go along with it because you're such a nice person, but sometimes I don't know if you actually, I know you're always down,
Yeah,
you know
of
what I'm
course.
saying, but I know, because he's more of a perfectionist than I am when it comes to stuff, I know that sometimes I'm like, he probably wants
As
to
long as
be
you
like,
let me pick the musicians, then I'm good.
Yeah.
That's all I care
all right,
about.
that's fair. Yeah. Well, there you go.
That was a very nice band meeting.
That's
It's
all
good
we
band
got to
meeting.
say to you, and that's all we got to say to each other.
Amazing. Well, quick couple shout outs from my end. First to Topo Chico Mineral Water.
Ugh.
Thank y'all for being the best. And they've got some. The band's got some. They're enjoying it.
I love this.
Check that out. And yeah, thank you, Topo Chico, for just being the best partners. I love y'all. And to DC Shoes. DC Shoes helps keep the series alive. They always send the band's kicks. We'll hook y'all up with some kicks.
Wow.
And it's all good and fun stuff. So thank you, DC, for everything you do. And with that, JMSEY, Caleb, thank y'all so much.
Dude,
We'll
Thank
get on.
you.
thanks for having us.
We'll see you soon.